Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome to another stream. Let us know how the audio is. And I'm Gordon, co-founder of Anything World. You've seen me in my face too many times. But today I have two special guests, Meaning Machine.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Ben Ackland, co-founder of Meaning Machine. And
Dan Harborn, I'm our AI development lead.
Welcome Ben and Dan. And audio is perfect. Wow, thank you very much, Shazab. Hey, Sebtronics, hey everybody, thanks for coming back to join us on this beautiful overcast Wednesday lunchtime. So yeah, thanks so much for coming in, guys. Really appreciate it. What are you doing in town today? What are you here for?
well, we're actually in London presenting at WASD this weekend, so showing off one of our games. But we're also in town to spend some time with you guys at Anything World. And talk a little bit about, obviously, Anything Safari, the collab that we worked on, and maybe also touch on a few games that we're looking into at the moment.
Amazing, that's exciting. Have you been to WASD before?
I haven't, no, I don't.
Yeah, I was there last year. Yeah, it's a great event. I mean, so many indie studios, showing off their new games, lots of opportunities to chat and to play, and just to explore, new games coming to market and stuff. So yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
Great event.
Yeah, we went last year the first time, but it definitely seems to be like a more like indie, like smaller game focused event, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes with the bigger ones like EGX and stuff, you can get a bit lost.
Yeah, we were at EGX and we actually had a really we pulled a really good straw because we were right as you go into one of the halls, we were at the door with a big poster. So worked out well for us, but definitely the smaller sort of stuff like WASD is good for the indies to get a bit of the spotlight, which isn't usually the case.
Sebtronics has come in with an audio update. It's a bit quiet. Is it better now? I turned on the other mic. Is it better without echo? This is the game we play. It's called the Audio Configuration Game. It's one of my favourite games. My second favourite game is System Update. Have you ever played System Update?
Yeah.
Basically, you have a family of 16 like me, and you have 5 minutes to midnight, and you want to play a game on your PlayStation, and then you play 45 minutes of System Update and fall asleep on the sofa.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Is it better now, Sebtronics, the audio? I turned on the other mic, so that was my bad. Every time we mess up a specific aspect of the audio. No, it's better without echo.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So let's turn this one up. All the way. Is that better now? So silly, isn't it? One day we'll get audio right. We'll have to have a full-time audio engineer join us at some point.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, thanks so much for stopping by on your way to WSD, which I'm sure will be a great event for you guys. You're going to just show us a sneak peek of your new game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Before we get onto that, maybe talk a little bit about Anything Safari and the collab.
Yeah, maybe about Meaning Machine, what your goals are, what kind of games you're making, what kind of stuff you're doing.
Absolutely. Let's start with that. So Meaning Machine really is focused on making games that push the boundaries of what we can do with modern tech, right? Mm-hmm. And we're trying to make games, mechanics, new experiences that just weren't possible like even a year ago, 2 years ago, kind of thing. And we're handcrafting those in-house. We're very much using them to drive the technology, which we also make. So we're actually playing with those two components and constantly seeing how they work together.
Okay, cool.
And we've got to focus on conversation, on dialogue, on understanding what's going on in the games and actually really surfacing that in a very sort of emergent way. Yeah.
Sounds good. Lots of big words there. So we'll show a demo in a second, but your stuff is really, really cool. We at Anything World, or me in my overactive brain, have been thinking about narrative in games and branching narrative, how it's always quite rigid, and opening that up with large language models or allowing that sort of emergent stuff to come into narrative games.
Yeah, for sure. So I think we're particularly excited about not just connecting up some kind of dialogue system, but that emergent gameplay and a full sort of understanding. So having the characters, yes, they can talk with you in an open way, you can talk to them in an open way, they have their own handcrafted backstory behind them, they have all of that, but also they're able to perceive what's going on in engine, what's going on around them, they're able to take actions and so on. And I think that's the core step between, or the differentiator between talking to a chatbot and then actually
Right.
upgrading the game experiences we all have. So I think we're really excited to add that situational understanding along with the dialogue to see what the possibilities are. And as you quite rightly say, it's a super exciting thing to think about what all of the possibilities are.
Very, very cool. And why do you think that? My impression is that like gaming studios, even though games leads everything, like culture and tech all the time, but sometimes the larger gaming studios are a bit slow. Like I would have thought Microsoft, Ubisoft would have made a game by now, which is completely open and the dialogue's crazy and everything's. I would have thought they'd be good, but they seem to be a bit slow. And it's like startups like ourselves, biased, that are driving this kind of thing. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think we are seeing some of the bigger players make moves. There's some tech demos coming out. I think Ubisoft had one recently which started to show this stuff. But I think the barrier is like we're in Edge magazine recently, and the big focus of that sort of feature was.
Oh, you're in Edge magazine.
Yeah.
Can you get us in as well?
We could.
You have a contact. But Edge magazine are not watching our stream. There was a contact we had from Edge magazine, and he was always a little bit like a bit arrogant. You know, like I'm the best Edge magazine. You can't. We're too good to talk to you. Now we'll never get an Edge magazine. But if you have a contact, we'd love to know.
Well, we had a great experience, and
nice.
No, but
this is why we never get anywhere.
But the main feature was a big discussion about where Gen AI is going to go
Right.
in games, and I think one of the core takeaways was a lot of the technology was at that level of like, sure, you've connected up some open dialogue, but how does that even fit? Like, how does that work in a game experience? How can a game designer sit and think about like, I've written this backstory, I've written these characters, I know the beats. How can we actually do something with this technology that's controllable? And I think we are coming at it from that lens. So Tom, who isn't here today, he's actually over at WSD doing this setup.
He's not dead, right?
He's not dead.
All of your games are about murder.
Well,
might be
anything,
dead.
anything Safari's a lighter tone. But Dead Meat, which we're showcasing over at WSD, certainly is a bit more macabre. But you know, he has his Game Unknown Number winning awards and so on. So he comes from that background of like having that scope of I want to do something interesting and original, and I need some more tools. And I think that motivation sort of comes into Meaning Machine and what we're doing. And so what we've to bring that full circle is we are looking to make tools which actually empower that vision of the game designer. So I think the slow uptake has been there aren't the tools that sort of really making it easy or actually giving game designers what they want rather than just sort of open-ended dialogue and then like
That's
hard to control and so on.
And on that, I'll add a couple of other little small points. So obviously, dev timelines for, like you mentioned, big studios, right? You know, 3-5 years or whatever. So the tech really didn't exist, like to make this, you know, to have free-form conversation with a character at any bar of quality. Just a couple of years ago. So you know, it's new to them too, right? So they're having to figure out how it fits into their pipeline. Another thing is like quite a bit of the tooling that's already out there is very much focused on like re-engineering your game or coming up with a new game concept that uses this. And we're also trying to think about how this applies to like existing games and how we can expand existing games and stuff with this tech as well. So I think those are two other hurdles, which is, you know, reasons why we just haven't seen it to date. And as Dan says, you know, we've got demos are coming out now where people are starting to really play with it and show off what they can do.
Yeah, for sure. So that seems like the perfect segue into the Anything World Meaning Machine collaboration.
Absolutely.
Shall we give it a whirl?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's see if the audio messes up and everyone gets echo. Beyond the audio guys, because they all mess up.
Do you want me to give a little intro into what we're seeing here before we start playing?
Absolutely, that would be great.
Basically, this is Anything Safari. Collab between Meaning Machine and Anything World. It's really a nature documentary where you call the shots as the player, right? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to sort of push the boundaries of what's possible when you can almost add anything to the scene. Obviously, one of the interests we've got is in generating dialogue and generating characters that are what we call game conscious, so conscious of what's going on in the scene. So what you're going to see here is, as a player, you've got the ability to add stuff to this scene, and you're going to hear a sort of nature documentary like commentary on what's going on. And as hopefully we might see, the story can go in any direction, and it's quite unpredictable, emergent. So
that's very cool. That's very cool. And Anything World obviously powers the objects, the living 3D objects coming in the scene. And you guys' technology is powering the narration of what's happening and a dynamic story based on the objects being added.
Exactly.
Which is very interesting and exciting and very similar to a game idea I've had for a few years that hopefully maybe we can put together.
Nice.
Like endless worlds, endless context, endless understanding of stuff. Okay, so does anybody want in the chat have a preference, if you can see the menu on the bottom there, of what you'd like to bring in first into this story? Anybody can say anything. Maybe it was stupid of me to ask. Longhorn. All right, okay. Hopefully you can hear the narration coming through. We'll have to see what happens. Whoops. Let us know.
Oh, would you look at that? A longhorn makes its majestic entrance. Nature's runway model strutting with elegance and grace, flaunting horns that defy gravity. It seems a tad out of place in this jungle setting, doesn't it?
Can you hear the audio from the game okay? They need to be louder, quieter.
Yeah, woohoo. Sounds good.
Yeah, all good? Okay, cool. So, any requests for what's going to be added to this story next? You can see we've got a lot of random objects coming in here. Who wants to see something next?
I know what I'd go for. Let's see if...
Fox.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
it's not, not there.
It's not there. You have to choose one from the menu is how this one works, but I think I know I would go for as well. Any more requests? Deer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I would have gone airplane myself. Where
Let's keep things tame.
Okay.
Let's not have our narrator too bewildered.
Sorry. I go extreme too early. That's my
And now, a deer. It enters the scene with its long, powerful legs, a sight more common in temperate forests than this humid jungle. The longhorn seems a bit flummoxed, while our new arrival appears, well, also out of place.
Flummoxed is a good word.
Yeah.
This is very cool because we're getting contextual understanding of the scene as we add in new objects. I really like the David Attenborough voice is funny. Where do you get the David Attenborough voice from? How did that come to?
Yeah, so we have worked with a number of partners to get the voice.
So you worked with David Attenborough himself?
Not
I'm joking.
No, although we didn't use David Attenborough as in the voice training or anything like that. So we used a available voice that was licensed and used its own source. So we didn't clone it, but obviously clearly the voice actor that went into that was very much inspired by a famous narrator.
And how did you train up? Did you use a specific service to get that voice, or how did that work?
Yeah, so
with this one we're using Eleven Labs, and we can basically plug into a variety of sort of AI voice services, which gives us flexibility, and they've obviously got different libraries and different sets and stuff. So cool. No, it's worked really well for this.
Yeah, it's really nice. Does anyone have a request for the next object? Put it in the chat, and we'll make it so. And while we're waiting for that, UFO.
Oh, what a choice!
Finally,
add some spice.
Somebody on my vibe. That's very good, Shrez. Very good.
Now there's a UFO, an extraterrestrial presence, zipping in the sky above our bewildered longhorn and deer. The jungle clearing has turned into a scene straight out of a science fiction novel. Oh, how the tables have turned.
Looks like it's dragging along. It's about to zap it up and do some experiments on it. Okay, what should we have next, guys? If you don't choose something quick, I'm going to talk about the jellyfish UFO again, like I did. You guys into UFOs?
Well, only incidentally.
Have you been in a UFO? No. I'm just very interested.
They are clearly my favourite mode of transport.
Yeah, fair enough. What do we want to add in next, guys? Anybody in the chat? I mean, I don't know what the airplane would do with a UFO. Emu. Okay. Oh.
Good heavens, an emu now joins our motley crew. Australia's answer to the ostrich, standing tall and judging us all. It's quite a sight, this bird running amok amidst a longhorn, a deer and a UFO. The jungle has truly turned into a carnival of the absurd.
It definitely is a bit weird now.
So yeah, what we're trying to show with these emojis as well is, you know, we model actually how these animals kind of feel every time the scene changes. So that's part of our like game conscious system. So, you know, obviously we have the deer being alarmed by the sight of a UFO. I guess the emu's a little bit surprised by, you know, what's going on, etc. So yeah, you might notice some more extreme emotions as
we go.
Yeah,
if we had like 50 things, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's push it, right?
That's cool. And so your system also does. I guess as you add it to this, you generate dialogue based on what's in the scene, and the interactions between the objects is also something that you handle.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
If I add here, I don't know, 50 elephants, the emu's going to be scared or something like that.
They're certainly going to be concerned. I mean, emu's probably going to be scared by that tiger, I would have thought, depending on...
Shall we add a tiger in?
Yeah, let's see.
Let's do the tiger.
Maybe you need some tiger.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
There we go.
A
Somebody
tiger,
knows that
the
a
striped
lot.
assassin of the jungle, has joined the spectacle. The emu's feathers are ruffled, the UFO's lights flicker, the longhorn and deer are frozen in disbelief. What a bewildering mix of creatures, terrestrial or
That
otherwise.
tiger is up for a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So the way sort of our tooling works is we're able to define not just, you know, a character backstory and so on, and return dialogue. We also are able to define other options that we might want back. So in this instance, in the scene, we specified that we wanted some emotions back. We defined some properties and parameters around what those could be, so we had control over it, and then we inject those into the scene. In the game we'll see in a bit, Dead Meat, we're an interrogator, we're interrogating a suspect, and we're not just passing back and forth dialogue, we're getting things back like their emotional state, the animations we might want to play, their heart rate, and so on. So our tooling is, it's about capturing that whole, or facilitating that whole experience.
It's very cool. And this is exactly the kind of thing that when we started out anything, when we wanted to see people build more of. So it's very exciting. We had those who watch the stream regularly will know we have a few games out there that use us in interesting ways as well. One from Choice Provisions, which is a zombie game. I don't know if you know the game Typing of the Dead Overkill.
Oh yeah.
It's like that, but powered by anything world. So it's like enter a 5-letter word or enter a word starting with M. So you can fire a moose or kill a zombie with a zombie. So it just opens up those limitless possibilities, and it's really fun.
Yeah,
Another one from Spilt Milk. Super Picross, I think it's called. It's like a Picross style game.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm sure you guys are Picross fans. Where you just type in the name, or say type in cow, creates a 2D Picross puzzle, and then of the silhouette of a cow, and once you've done it, the cow starts animating, added to your collection.
Nice.
So there's really cool emerging gameplay or interesting gameplay possibilities powered by our libraries that we really love, and this is definitely one of them.
And I think that's a really good, like, that goes back to the points we were making earlier about like why are we not seeing people use this, and I think that's a really good use, right? So Picross, it's a known game. They didn't change that formula much in the beginning, but now they've elevated it by adding those 3D models that can be easily brought in from you guys. Same with us. We're not trying to like give you a tool that you have to build your game from day one around. We're trying to give tools that, like, given a game, you've already got your action RPG, you've already got your shooter that ends with commentary talking about what happened in the game. These kind of things, you can just add that use of our tool into the existing game. And same with you guys, there's plenty of ways you could take either of our tools and add it to an existing experience.
Interesting. I'm going to add the skunk because I love skunks. Come on.
Hold your noses, dear viewers.
Like
A skunk has sauntered into our already peculiar assembly, its warning stripe
definitely
clear
an
as
H9
day.
a T missing from
The
that
UFO's
emoji.
lights flicker in response, the emu squawks, and the tiger, well, it appears to be contemplating a hasty retreat. This
Tiger's not
jungle
hungry anymore.
has turned into a stage for the
Who
most
wants to eat
unusual
farts for
play.
lunch? Unless you like quiche or anything egg-based. I don't like eggs. Cool. Should we try out something else? For example, the airplane.
Yeah.
Sorry. I want to see the airplane. There we go. Nobody likes the airplane.
Oh dear. A rickety airplane has now entered our surreal tableau, roaring overhead. The skunk raises its tail in alarm, the tiger's eyes widen, and the UFO, well, it appears to be doing a double take. As for our emu, deer and longhorn, they're simply gawping in disbelief. This jungle safari has become a wild, whimsical whirlwind.
Planes enjoying himself.
I'm just clicking on random stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very cool. I
It's
mean, even
about exploring, right?
yeah, like this demo. Oh, look at the big spider. It's cool just to add stuff and have that randomness, but then have
The drama
understanding
escalates.
of it. It's, like,
A
it's a nice
spider,
feeling. isn't it?
nature's
Yeah.
eight-legged architect, has entered our surreal
Yeah, it was fun
scene.
because
It scurries
wasn't
past the skunk,
like it
who
wasn't
rears
that
back in
long of a thing
surprise,
to put together.
and the
right?
tiger,
So we
who
came
watches
together,
with wide-eyed
um,
curiosity.
just before South
The
by
airplane
Southwest,
drones
and
overhead.
just were like, what can we
The
do?
UFO
and we put
blinks.
this thing, it
And our
was quite
emu,
easy to integrate your
deer,
stuff,
Yeah.
our stuff, and then
longhorn.
Cool.
build the scene. Obviously,
Well,
there's
they're
plenty
simply
more you
flabbergasted.
could do to the experience.
This jungle adventure has
but like
truly
as
taken
a
a
thing where you
turn
just
for the
get to, like,
bizarre.
add bits and pieces in and then see
Yeah.
what happens. It's like
Yeah.
a fun little.
But it would be cool to like extend it and do like, I
Yeah,
don't know,
for sure.
you have the emus there and then you add 20 tigers and the emus run to like a lake or something and then you have a different scene and then it could be like a puzzle mechanic, it could be like a endless world thing.
Yeah,
Opens up the mind a bit.
for sure. And we discussed things like actually going on a safari or something like that.
Oh, sorry, it's hard to hear us talking over the narration, is
yeah.
it? I will bring this down a bit.
Yeah, we talked about having like actually going on a safari. Like right now we're in a clearing and we're just adding things. But you could imagine going on a full world that's populated by things and
Yeah, cool.
maybe you ask your tour guide, oh, I want to go see the spiders or whatever, and then it takes you to a specific location where
Yeah, that would be cool.
where they're generated or something.
That would be very cool. Okay, cool. So that is what are we calling this one?
Anything
Anything
safari.
safari.
Anything Safari. Nice. That's anything, and I love this. I think it's great. We're going to chat about how we can collaborate, like going forward.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we can do something definitely with this concept and take it on a bit. Shall we show a game about killing people, which is your bread and butter?
Well, we're not doing the killing. We're
Right.
we're trying to figure out what's happened. Maybe no one's done any killing.
Okay.
Who knows? But yeah. So if we switch over to Dead Meat, I think
Let's do it. Let's see if we can do it seamlessly. Should we go to the be right back?
yeah.
All right,
that's
we'll
it.
we'll be right back in about 30 seconds, or maybe 40, with Dead Meat. We are back. That is. You don't want the application audio? Yeah, that's it. Bingo. Can you still hear us? Okay, let us know because we're messing with the audio all the time.
Yeah, and we've moved around.
Now, despite having main character syndrome, I am sitting in the back. So these guys lead.
Yeah, well, let's do a little intro to Dead Meat, actually. So Dead Meat is an interrogation game where you, the player, can pretty much ask the suspect anything. And here we're introducing Lucia, and Lucia has maybe, definitely, possibly killed her husband. And as a player, your objective is to get to the bottom of the case. You've got to try and figure out what happened. And we'll reveal a little bit more about how that works as we play through. But what we're going to do is, I think Dan's probably going to kick off the conversation, and then we very much like the audience and maybe us in the room to start interrogating Lucia, and we can literally take any strategy we want. So do you want anything more to say before we kick off?
No, I think you covered it. I'm just thinking about how we're going to begin this time. Perhaps how would you like to first engage with our?
You're the detective. You've just entered the interrogation room.
What do we know about her?
So we know that her husband has died.
Died, yeah.
I think we'll go with that's what we know for now. I think
Right.
there's a few more details that we can drop in that we can maybe help you along the path. But this is a suspect brought in front of you. One thing you do know, she's hooked up to a mind reader, and you'll
Right.
see how that plays
Got it.
in once
Very
we send
cool.
the
I like
first.
the illustration and the vibes already. So what I would ask her to fool her, I would say, what was the one thing you loved most about your husband?
Okay.
Great start.
Yeah. You'll see how good or bad my typing is as I do this. And as you can see, we also get an insight into Lucia's mind.
The mind reader's pretty good. I could do with that, like everyday life. I guess we might have to integrate in our glasses one day.
Give us 5 years.
Yeah, because you can generate images, can't you? Regenerate. I don't know if you see that.
Oh yeah,
machine
yeah, I
learning
have
stuff,
actually, yeah,
like
yeah.
the mind reading stuff, and you can visualize what
Yeah,
people are
it's
thinking. Now,
bonkers.
can't you? It's crazy, isn't it? So that would be in your glasses.
Well, yeah.
To be honest with you, it's the best price I can give you. He's
Are
lying.
you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got back. What did we get back? So we got some fairly, Titus is the name of the husband. Interested in innovation. Clearly had a passion for it. And we see in the mind reader that actually what she's talking about is the very thing that led to the horror in the first place. So some hints off the bat, maybe just some ideas. So or not, as you like, doesn't depend. But one thing I find is that this ends up giving you, like, the mind reader gives you threads that you can start pulling on. But you don't have to go that route. You can go any route you like. But it might be worth.
Yeah, I mean, that's suspicious on Lucia's part. I was expecting her to say, "Oh, I love the way he looked after our pets," or "He was funny, charming." Not his relentless pursuit of innovation. Nobody says that.
Yeah. Maybe that's the thing then.
Well, so to put my meaning machine hat on for a second.
Okay.
One of the nice things there is that the reason why that's like in Lucia's bio that is powering her responses is the fact that she is also herself driven by innovation. That's she's got a love for artificial intelligence and that's like her area of expertise. She loves that innovation, so that comes through.
Oh yeah, I'm not criticizing the system.
Oh no! I just wanted to point that out as like that's what we're doing here. That's
got it.
That's where it's coming from.
So maybe, obviously, it says, "Can I really fool them?" So I guess that's the clue, isn't it?
Maybe not.
Maybe. Why was his vision a nightmare? I guess would be my
Yeah.
question. And if anybody in the chat has any questions, do throw them in. And I hope the audio is not echoing, and you can hear the typing.
Well.
Wow. Mass murder.
Mass murder.
Okay, I guess the question is then, who else died?
Yeah, it's interesting if you're
So, you know, obviously what you're seeing here is what she's thinking, what she's saying.
Yeah, of
She's
course,
sticking
yeah.
to
That's
two
cool.
different stories, right?
Yeah, she's already being inconsistent in her responses, but the mind reader's got her number.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so now, this is a great time, given the mind reader response, to reveal the objective of the interrogation. So this lever that's been here, now I've got the mouse here, so I was like not allowing you to pull it yet, but I'll, because one of the things that often happens is people see this lever, they pull it instantly and find out what's going on. But if we pull this, we'll see we've got this case file that we need to fill out. So we've got some details that we need to complete.
It's like Cluedo.
It's a little bit like Cluedo. Nice. So we've got the name of the victim, the location of the murder, the method of the murder, and so on. So if we close this, we can see, well, we found out Titus earlier. And if we look at the mind reader, did anyone see me at the factory? So maybe that might be something to do with the location, perhaps.
Of course.
So then we can start asking about.
So can we put Titus and factory into the file?
We can. So what we can do is we can put Titus, and then let's put the factory.
Yeah.
See what it thinks, and then these we can leave blank, or we can have a guess. For now, I don't.
Okay, no, we haven't got.
Yeah, so we could leave that there, and we can put it back, and they'll be there. But we can also when we're ready, we can do an accuse. Some people like to put some in and then accuse, and then see how many they've got right so far. But I think we've only got 3 accuses before Lucia's lawyers tell us to jog on.
Yeah,
so maybe we'll save them for a bit.
So. Yeah, can we go back in the conversation just a little bit? Let's just see. Let's just see any other tidbits in the relentless pursuit of innovation. So I don't know. I mean, I'd be tempted to kind of try and explore that a bit more. Like, what was he innovating? Like, he was obsessed with this, right?
Yeah, and she also said
we've not really got much info on that.
The dream that became complicated, right? So there's something. Maybe there's something around that. So. What could we ask? We could say.
What more can you tell me about?
Yeah. What more could you tell me about Titus's innovation and where it? Gosh, typing. Where it led.
Yeah.
Emails. Two very different.
Yeah.
So we've got we're name of the victim, where they died.
Yeah. We need
how
a we need a how and we need a why.
Why? Yeah. Okay.
And just so I can as we're going through it, how to understand the system behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So is there like a range of stories, or is there like you trained up a scenario and you have to find clues, or how does it work?
Yeah. Well, this is basically a richly written story behind the scenes. So sort of crafted, murder mystery like you would have it, with then all of the extra information that makes it possible to interrogate the suspect.
Right.
So, for instance, we've got things like what happened on the day of the murder, what their backstories are, how they should react in the interviews, in the interrogation situation, etc., etc. And we kind of feed that in, and that's kind of part of this system that we've built that takes all of that and uses it to sort of direct and steer the conversation.
Got it. So you've got like a murder mystery, like you've got the whole details with lots of backstories, characters, loads of data around it. Depending on how we interact here, we get different aspects of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The story is fixed-ish, but the data around is huge, so you get different angles to solve the mystery.
It's very good.
It's very fixed actually. So there were bits and pieces where Lucia might come up with something. But actually, there's where she went to university is written. Like it's kind of like D&D in a way,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you've got a bunch of characters you've written with pretty extensive backgrounds, and we're just facilitating interactions with those characters. Sometimes you'll ask questions that they don't have a specific answer for, and then it will try to infer what would be a sensible
Very
solution.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So what's the next question, guys?
Yeah, let's think. So,
Well, let's ask the audience, right?
Yeah.
So we sort of got a hint as to who and where, but how?
We need a why and a how.
What have we got so far? We've got. Do we know that he was? Yeah, she mentioned he was at the factory on the day, right?
I think so, but we don't really. Yeah, I mean, we could just ask her for what might have happened.
Yeah.
But
Anyone got any questions in the chat? Shazab or Shreyas, if you got any questions. There we go.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Good one, Shreyas.
We've got this e-meat thread as well. I think we should pull on that a little bit more.
Okay, I've got it.
oh yeah.
I believe she's been paid off by the meat industry to kill her own husband.
Ooh. Should we?
Should
we give it a go?
Do you want to do any keys?
I don't know, is it too early?
We
let's-
can if you want.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay, let's try.
We can.
How
we
do
got three.
Okay.
Who
Yeah.
was down one?
How do we think? So this is Motive for Murder was sort of meat industry
Like competition.
contractual assassination contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Assassination. Is that right? So there's too many.
Well, I
two
guess
letters.
the motive though. The motive is the meat industry doesn't want him
Right.
competing with them, right?
Meat industry
Doesn't like
Trying to
competition.
remove, doesn't want the
Removing
competition, yeah. And the method, we don't
We
quite
don't know,
know
we
the
can
detail,
guess.
but
Yeah.
I
Do you wanna have a
reckon
guess?
I reckon they rigged the systems. They rigged the factory.
Rig the factory.
Yeah, so like they rigged the machinery. I'm accusing.
Okay.
Shazam. I mean, this is going to be a wild guess, but
So look.
Ooh.
some of the cases.
Yeah, let's have a little look.
So we've got two correct.
Ooh,
They're locked
yeah.
in,
Cool.
and then two.
So basically, the ones that we knew were right, my wild guesses based on no evidence were wrong.
yeah,
Part of the game, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Nice. Okay, so anybody in the chat have any more questions?
Yeah, there's some threads we could pull on, but I think
Definitely, yeah.
what we found is, so we demoed this. I mentioned earlier we demoed this at EGX.
Yes.
And the real interesting thing was that everyone was going like different ways.
Right, right.
We actually had a professional investigator who happened
you?
to walk past.
Oh no way.
And sat down and cracked it.
Did he like straight away?
Yeah, well, it wasn't straight away, but
But
it
a
was
few
very
minutes,
quick.
yeah.
So
That's interesting. That's
most
funny,
people
that's
were
funny.
playing approximately 40 minutes,
Wow.
which was first of all from a side note. That surprised me from an engagement perspective.
that's
That's
a
a long
long
time to engage with a demo at like a convention like that.
Mm.
So that was really nice. But yeah, the professional interrogator got it pretty quick, much quicker than others. But it stumps a fair few people.
Yeah.
But it feels like most people progress a little bit when they interact, at least.
Yeah.
So I guess the question I would ask now. Okay.
Question chat.
Did they want? Well, we got two
They,
here.
they
Yeah.
wanted to clone the animals in the meat factory.
Yeah.
So let's ask something about.
Did they use cloning?
Yeah, did you use cloning within the meat factory? And there was another question there. Any friend who's jealous of Titus, so you can look into that as well.
Oh, we got it. Good question.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was we're going to end up going in two different directions, but why
That's
not?
cool, yeah.
Any friend who is at did Titus have any jealous friends? Juicy like just like chicken. Yeah. Something like that.
See.
So
that was a
yeah,
good
the
one.
mind reader
Yeah.
seems to say like she's like, oh, maybe I could throw a jealous friend under the bus, but
Okay, what I want to throw in here is I want to throw in like a complete change of tact now.
Okay.
Just to show like how the system
Sure.
and how the game handles it, right?
Okay.
Just to go. So let's actually put some pressure on her. We're being quite gentle with her at the moment. We're just
Yeah.
asking her these simple questions. Let's say, look, like Lucia, you're going to be locked up for life if you don't start talking. Let's put a bit of pressure on her.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
okay. So
Listen up, Lucia.
yeah.
Listen up,
you
Lucia.
were-
Want to see your family? Want to see your family again?
No, it's fair. We're going down this. You're going to jail for life if you don't tell us you killed him.
Yeah. If you, yeah.
I got too excited about this change. I was wanting to be a mean detective.
Let's say like maybe we can help you out if you start
Cool.
telling.
Oh wow,
I
you're,
like
you're
it.
a bad cop and a good cop in one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the hybrid approach.
Yeah. Ooh. We've got a guess as well. We've got a bit of insight in the chat. So let's pop that round to that in a sec.
Titus in the cloning machine. Yeah, she loved her husband, so maybe wanted another one.
She is playing a crafty game
Yeah.
there, isn't she?
So we wanted a
Well, did she put Titus in the meat cloning machine?
So should we ask?
Yeah, I think let's just ask her straight up.
Yeah. Did you put Titus in the meat cloning machine? And then she'll say, I told you there wasn't a meat cloning.
Ooh.
Oh, the image of him falling.
Okay, well, she pushed him off.
Yeah, what did she push him off?
She pushed him into the machinery to save everyone else in the factory.
Oh.
Is that what we're thinking? That's what she's saying, or not?
She's falling. Yes.
Yeah, so where do we go next? Do we want to? Did you? Was that you wanting to accuse?
I felt quite confident.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's me. I have no knowledge, but I'm very confident.
Let's do it.
But no, it'd be wrong.
Okay, so
What
we're
do
gonna going for an accuse.
Are we?
Are we?
I think so.
You think?
Okay, we think so. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So, method of murder. What we think is pushed into the machinery. Pushed
Pushed off something.
Pushed off.
A ledge into the machinery.
Pushed off ledge into the machinery.
Oh yeah, we didn't have a motive, do we?
Now we need a motive.
We might have to go back.
Yeah, we don't really have a
We
motive.
didn't really expose anything more, have we?
There's some threads.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
see some threads. I can see some threads.
Might be jealousy,
Jealousy.
but that's only inferred. There's not really.
Yeah, I think.
She wanted to clone her husband.
Yeah. So there's some threads about her genuinely. I think she was talking about she loved Titus. There's some stuff about his innovation was monstrous. Maybe that's a thread. There was stuff just recently about saving others.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
So what
So
was
maybe-
doing? Yeah.
Why were the others in danger? I guess would be.
Yeah.
Question.
What's the link?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just-
So why were others in danger? Let's try that, and then let's have a look at that. Could be an accident. Yeah, it could be an accident. We should.
Well, she did it.
Yeah. That puts the accident. Unless maybe there was an accident and she is like, oh, I ended his life because they got into an argument and then stuff happens. But so this feels
ended
like
his life is minimum manslaughter.
does feel like we're looking at some kind of conviction. I think
definitely
for sure.
It's playing God.
Yeah. And how are we doing on time as well? Oh, we're coming up to.
It's all good. We got to solve this mystery, so we're
wow. Okay.
As long as you have time, I'm not leaving until this lady's behind bars.
All right. So, what thread do we want to put on now?
I mean, how did you end his life? Would be my question. Anyone else got any questions in the chat?
Ask us straight up.
She's pretty adamant.
Oh, a shared vision. Oh.
I think given the time,
Time
might
to
be the good time to have one last guess.
Yeah.
And then see where we're at. So what do we think? We've got. Are we still happy with this, or what are we thinking?
I mean,
He fell.
He fell.
That's all we've really.
We don't have to put into the machinery.
Okay, so we got pushed.
Yeah. Let's go with
Pushed and fell.
Pushed and
fell to his death or something. Is what it sounds like, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the motive is that the technology was too dangerous.
Technology was too dangerous. Technology was too dangerous. Let's go for it.
Oh, come on! What's incorrect?
So what I'm going to suggest, we're showing this at WASD for the next 3 days.
It says one. Only one was wrong.
No, that's one.
One
accused left.
One go left.
Both are wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm going to encourage our audience to come give us a go themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Before we solve the mystery today, which we're getting closer to, right?
Okay. You don't want to give it away.
We don't want to give away the ending.
Fair enough.
Lucia's trying to keep her secrets, so we should maybe abide by that.
Fair enough. Don't give it all away. Can I have a copy of this game because I need to play it? So I need to.
We can sort something out. We can sort something out for sure.
Well, thank you so much for definitely if you're at WSD, come and check you guys out. Meanie Machine's showing.
Dead Meat.
Yeah. I can see why the name is called Dead Meat now. It's all coming together. It's really good fun. Honestly, I really want to finish it as well. I have a problem with escape rooms and any kind of mystery that's unfinished. I try and hide in the room and finish all the puzzles. I don't like leaving when puzzles are incomplete. So I'm going to try and finish this game. But it's really good fun. And love what you guys are doing. Obviously, a combination, we can do lots of cool stuff as well.
Cool.
So thanks so much for coming and showing us your cool game.
Yeah.
And our collaboration.
Thanks for having us. It's been a pleasure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, thanks all.
Cheers everyone.
See you later. Now we have to go and collect.
Where do I? Maybe I'll.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
See
he
you.
says in a casual way as he's leaning.